And the reason why I'm here to further explain the situation of what I'm going through in terms of with all the connections with the different parties. From when I was fired from in January 2011, the 26th, I had a number of different liars, and one wrote Mr. Walcott Richardson, the 1st of June 2011, outlining for the same reports that were supposed to come forward for the case. And after that, there was other letters went. This letter also went stating urgent, outlining the situation with the family. And what happened, all the letters that was wrote, we get no response to it. No response to none of the letters, and meeting the tribunal, everything. They just want to hold it conducted the way they want. Letter even when Mr. Foster Rajas was at permanent secretary in the office. A letter also went when Ms. Arjul Wilson take a position in office. All the letters that my lawyer had written the different heads of the department. No response back for it to get this matter on the way. So what happened further to that, Joyce Kentish was appointed to do the tribunal from in 2011, but because of a situation that we outlined there to remove Marcel Fay, she said she would remove herself. So after that, them appoint Miss Ivinia Benjamin, senior magistrate, February 9th, 2012, to be head of the tribunal. And all the letters that we wrote going to Miss Benjamin about this report, in order to get a situation going. No response again. But the last letter that my lawyer had from Webster Tyrone Mitchell, which is Malani Lynn, wrote to the magistrate and Miss Benjamin the 22nd of March, outlining everything in here. And I noticed I wasn't sending across the reports. So I tell my lawyer to specifically outline it in the letter. What is we talking about in order to get these reports going. So should do so here in this one. And all the letters were going to Miss Benjamin. Nothing come. When they find that my lawyer wasn't here, I get a summons to appear to the tribunal. Given I received this the 26th of June and had to appear the 28th. And if you know by law, this is wrong, because they were supposed to give me 7 working days. Under the criminal code, where I was supposed to get 7 working days notice, and coming from the senior magistrate, I only get 2 days. The same permanent secretary, Ms. Ashul Wilson, the newspaper dated Friday, 15th April 2011, here. She was acting deputy governor. She was acting deputy governor here in this paper. And these are the same people who are supposed to ensure that the laws being followed. Is the same person here concealing the evidence, got this matter pending from going forward, causing me and my family all this hardship, and they taking me in prison for nothing in court, locking me up, just because they want a document signed to clear them. Okay, I'll just show you the summonses I get, and point out something to you. This summons was the first summons I get to appear for the 31st of May 2012 from Randa Kano, which I outlined in the first tape that I made, where she had all the evidence. She didn't have to go nowhere. If you notice, keep the Benjamin signature here, and this one. This next one is with the witness statements, with the witnesses who would go against me. And the same thing here, when I went in here, even though I had arm effects, were ordered to leave my evidence by the door. The same Kingsley Benjamin, sorry, excuse me, going against his same laws under the Magistrate Code, Procedure Code. Sign here, mark out neglected and put refuse. With his same document there say that he wasn't supposed to tender nothing. India, after all of that, I was forced to sign this document. He told me to adjust about the child. And the reason why they had all these other things because of what the liars and everybody else doing me. So put me on to keep the peace, bound me to keep the peace of good behavior for 1 year. And underneath the same criminal code where he pulling up for everybody else. Under 300 of this, outlining what's supposed to happen when he do that. October the 29th, 2012 now, I get another summons. This summons, now I will show you something about this. This summons have the senior magistrate signature to it. Which I was pointing out earlier in a summons she sent me for 2 days. And if you notice, this summons say, complaint has been made the 10th of September 2012 by the Commissioner of Police. Underneath the Magistrate Code, Section 24, where any person could send somebody and if you notice the same senior magistrate Anguilla Benjamin where these letters and things going for this matter to get settled. Now what happened to 2 magistrates working together, combined as one now to do me all of this? November 9, 2012. After, when I found he was doing me wrong from the first time, when I went back the 29th of October, saying it is my rights to have a life, I get another summons again. This now, the junior magistrate, Kingsley Benjamin, the signature you see here, send me this one. The junior magistrate sent me this summons now, that I have to come back to court. Same thing again about with the child. And if you notice behind here, where there's some food signed for the AG and FA, the Chief Education Officer, with a stamp and Keitler's signature here again, the Junior Magistrate, Keitler Benjamin. After and there, although I tell him to my rights to have a lawyer, he keep telling me whether I got one or not, he can conduct it. He call up someone else to conduct them case. A couple which had a problem which I explained in the first one. He tell me what happened. He gonna send me prison because I'm crazy. And like the Bayesians would say, I get hit in my head with a big rock. Now he pointing out that the prison inmates and they just read. Them smart because them the read, and if he was going along with the rules, from the evidence here you will see who's smart. The 12th now, when I come back the Monday underneath him, the Friday will lock up because he wanted to know who my advisor was. So now I went to prison, so I don't see nobody at all. So now I come back out on him Monday the 12th. I was sent back to prison, saying when he pointed out to the prosecutor Erica Edwards from the AG Chambers office, telling her that the store that they had in the education department, that if them know that a child is in school, so he said even though he's in school, he gonna send me prison. Erica Edwards here, the laws which the Attorney General James Woods put inside of the newspaper, she going opposite to everything the laws state, just to please a particular party in order to get me to sign a document to clear all of them. Excuse. Now 12, when I went back, I went prison again, underneath of this one. And you will find, he say here, and upon the defendant being found guilty, and the court thinking that a charge is proved, but being of the opinion that it is expedient to release the defendant on probation. Now what is I do? I gotta go on probation. This here again, signed by the same Junior Magistrate Keitler Benjamin. Section 50 of the Criminal Code. And you see what I say? He didn't even have to go further with it. The same Education Act which I was dragged there so by a lawyer by Randa Connor, which had all the evidence for the case, but I inside a court for nothing, using the court to scare me, talking about prison, trying to frighten me to get me to sign them document. This now is the Public Service, Anguilla Public Service Code of Ethics. This here you can see was Stanley Reed, the Deputy Governor. outline everything here. Even put this code is applicable to all public servants. And here, B, to say deal with the public and their affairs fairly. But you see nothing inside of there, and that quote was fair about mine. If you read this whole book to outline everything in it, this book outlines everything in it. To even say here, provide some advice and make decisions based on facts. But like I point out here, you see his was on he thinking and his opinion. Ensure that fairness and equal opportunity are afforded to all, but you see where mine went. Okay, what happened after when come out here now? Again, another summons again. This from Tashanta Brooks from the probation officer. The January 9, 2013. She called my wife phone the 1st of February. From a number 497-8461. I tell her, she keep telling me about if I come in to the appointment them had for me set up. I tell her I'm not coming to no appointment because I do nothing. And I went in prison for nothing. I tell her that what I need to do is put Keatley Benjamin, the junior magistrate, and the permanent secretary who over the education department, they need to put them on the probation because the government wasting the money up there, so paying them for a job they ain't doing. After that, I tell her, well, I can get my lawyer to call them. So she hang up the phone and she said, okay. Excuse me. She called back on a different number now. 497-2545 and tell me to leave my lawyer, call her at her office at 497-7343. This here is a letter she sent. And when I went by the courthouse, because under the Constitution say after 4 days they should give the defendant whatever charge he was put in prison for. After 4 days he was supposed to get it. The same Deanna Hodge, Keatley Benjamin Clark, sent me down by the probation office. Another trick again. And the probation office didn't have none when I went down there. So when my lawyer called now, them get the charge while I went in there so far again. And this is the copy she attached to it. Outlining the same thinking he thinking in his opinion. When the law state every decision should be based on facts. But mine based on whatever them friends telling them. You will see here again, this sign by Keatley Benjamin, the junior magistrate. Okay. I went nowhere today because I had no reason to go nowhere because I didn't do nothing, I commit no offense. Again, another summons again. the 5th of February 2013. Again now, instead of the junior magistrate, from the senior magistrate. The same senior magistrate which I show, who was appointed from the February 9, 2012 to deal with the matter. The same magistrate who got all the facts for this case. Joined in working together with Keith Benjamin to get me in there to sign a document from to clear all the problems the manager for Anguilla put him in, Thomas Hodge. And you notice the same senior magistrate's signature again. After that, while I was in court, now when I got in there, I meet a bunch of people inside there. So Miss Davis was dealing with the matter for me while my lawyer get here. And she get up and she tell him in the morning in there that she's here on behalf of the Human Rights Office. He tell her in here in his court is nothing about human rights. She says she would like to know what the reason why I'm here for. And what he was doing, he had wanted to, he tells she that it's twice underneath of him, and you can see all the times are in here underneath of him. This is the 5th time underneath of him. Okay, he tells she, he give us some time to go through the case, and I will start pay her back the 1st of March. Now what he was doing, he asked me if I understand. I tell him yes. So when I got back now, he was supposed to give me a charge for me to come back the 1st of March, but I don't want to leave no trail. So when I got back the 1st of March, Miss Lolita Davis, who you hear on the radio always banging her mouth, criticizing others, had all the evidence for my case and went in there until he put a $500 fine on top of me. And what happened? Give this slip and got tell me to just a reminder. Now if you notice anything from the court supposed to be signed and stamped. This here got nothing underneath. No conditions or why if I pay this fine or what will happen to me. Nothing on top. This here now is the warrant when I went back to the court. I had a problem. I went in to file an appeal. I called it Friday. And when I gone, they tell me must come back Monday around 10 o'clock. Because they find something wrong with it, so I have to explain me. And when I gone, the Monday the 8th of April now, them approached me, Darius Duncan and his colleague. He come inside and he say, he wanted to see me a minute outside, but the way he was talking like in a different language, so I tell him, ask him who he talking to. And he say me. He points at me. I say, but whatever it is you saying I don't understand, because the way he talking like in a different language, I think I speak English. But if you notice, this here again signed by Keith Benjamin. When them approach me outside, them tell me, them read out the warrant to me, them ain't give it to me because I asked for it, them tell me them ain't giving it to me. To say that I refuse to sign them document in court I refused to send the child to school, and I also refused to pay the $500 fine, so I gotta go to prison. If you notice, this warrant, this charge here say, warrant of commitment for default. Now what is I will be committed to for defaulting on top of them fraud and perjury them got here. But I want to pay close attention here. I'm going to show you something make while Lolita Davis was doing. Instead of going there represent me truthfully, she went in there turn on them side. Here so. We to say, and upon the said peace officer are hereby commanded to take the defendant and convey him to the said prison, and there deliver him to the said superintendent, therefore together with this warrant. Okay. What she was doing on the 70 of the Education Act, which had all the evidence, and under the same Education Act, where it wasn't even supposed to be in court for nothing. She went, mislead the court, with the say here section 70, liability of the parent. Mislead the court because she had all the facts, I had a lawful excuse. And tell he to charge me under them act. But excuse. In the first one, you'll notice where I point out the same letters and thing with Rhonda Connor. Section 72. Where she didn't even have to carry this matter nowhere. But I in court and lock up 3 times for nothing. Section 70. If you notice here, see, this is section 70. This is the Magistrates Code of Procedure Act, where Miss Lolita Davis, who had all the evidence, told Keithley Benjamin, now after joining with him, to charge me under 70. And here was 70 say. And whatever was on top of them papers, what them don't want me to see, what them say it's supposed to be 3 papers, he shall forthwith obey it. So if I had to pay that fine, me and my family were dead out here for nothing, for what all of them concealing and carrying this matter forward. What happened? I went by the court registrar, Vonette Richardson, and I was also mislead there. Because you can see it as a team. And here, you talking about health and safety and standards at the workplace. But you can see what's going on. The same permanent secretary who are customer acting deputy governor, the same people who are supposed to uphold the laws is who broken the laws. The newspaper dated Friday 21st September 2012, where you see all of them here, along with the Deputy Governor Stanley Reed. All the time this matter was going on. When I went to the Permanent Secretary, Chanel Petitberet, She had went on holiday after I went to had a meeting with she and Edison Beard. Don Reed, Stanley Reed wife, was acting permanent secretary in her place. So there was nothing new that them know. What I'm doing is using my situation to try cripple me instead of carrying out the laws. Them tell me that Diana saying this charge here what I get for the 1st of March is valid. If you notice, no signature on it. To even me say which court, magistrate court it was supposed to be in. But to say a $500 fine, and if I don't pay, the penalty for it is a month in Her Majesty's prison. Under the criminal code, under this code, the criminal code, by the same junior and senior magistrate pulling up for everybody else. Underneath of this, section 17. Which them fraud what them they're doing, where they say fabrication of evidence. The same criminal code 128 where they say removal of property under lawful seizure. So you can see why. My life is in big danger because of all the problem, all of them in. The prosecutor code if you read this here, this is a code for prosecutors where then publish it in the newspaper, then put it in the newspaper now for the public to read. And this here outlines everything. And you can see why that the Chief Minister Hughes could have put in the same newspaper that I mean following the laws and the problem them got the government in. The same code for prosecutors telling them they're supposed to uphold the principles of the Anguilla Constitution, which is senior, junior, permanent secretaries, everybody broken. So from some of the evidence shown here, you can see the reason why none of them don't want me going in the newspaper for the people to know what's going on and on the radio. This is why the Queen had tell Hughes, the Chief Minister, he need to send home some of the civil servants because none of them functioning. None. And it is the same one here, Jules Wilson, that concealing evidence got this matter pending. We had a tribunal the 7th of March after I come out from the 1st of March from the courthouse. When I gone the 1st of March, the same the same day at the court hearing I had, I went to see the Attorney General, Mr. James Woods, to make an appointment. The secretary tell me she could call me another day to leave me know when I could come. When she called me the next day, she tell me I can't sing. I'm going to show you what I was showing you all the time to show you that I'm all together. This is a summons I get to appear in court and for the tribunal. Should now put it to the 7 days because what happened to had a liar used to pass by now and again. And when I point out these things, because none of the liars want to work for me not do anything, even if them take up the case, them just take no money and not applying the law to them friends. So now she fix it to the 7 days. And if you see her signature here, which I showing you, I getting summonses to appear underneath a Keithley Benjamin. But if you notice, most of the summonses coming from the same senior magistrate who's supposed to hold this meeting. The same senior magistrate who is appointed to do a duty under section 18 in the same permanent secretary Angela Wilson is supposed to be upholding the laws of the land. If you notice up here, what is the department responsible for? And one of them is human rights. But mine, I got none when they come to them. Because all of them trying to protect this Thomas Hodge. And like general manager, which all of the management team out there don't know what I'm doing. The same company in 2009, what happened to had a tragic accident because the rules wasn't followed by one of the supervisors, which I point out in the first video. Instead of the manager complying with the company rules under the termination list, he promoted him. So, whatever Anguilla do out here, so you could see that is acceptable with all of these government ministers here because the same government got 40% shares in it. And if you know you're losing your profit because of the liability or the people you putting in there causing problem, why now me and my family got to be held accountable for them actions? So you could see why the chief minister was told to send home the civil servants then, because none of them, you could see from the evidence here, they ain't functioning. The same Randa Khanna, the education officer, which had all the evidence, which a letter from the liar had went to another day, which outlined in her statement. I was sent in court, but she now saying I didn't have none. The same police them who in there joining a particular party. This is the Police Act. In under section 60 of this act, telling you anytime them associated with any members to do any wrong, them shall be dismissed from the force. So you can see the reason why I can't get through with nothing because of all of the involvement with the different people in it. But yet, my matter can't get going. Okay. What happened? My liar, who I had from Antigua, keep writing the same senior magistrate who is appointed for this tribunal, who went in there and do what she want. She sent this letter, this email. And if you notice, from where it was here, to enter the same Stanley Reed. My liar writer back tell now with all the letters he was trying to write. He even put, it's important that we have these in order to properly represent Mr. Petty. The same reports all of them hiding because they want me to sign a document to clear all of them. The same senior magistrate who should know better joining in. And in the criminal code, here, excuse me, section 3 and 4. Section 3 and 4. 3 tell you, this code applies to every person who is in Anguilla at a time of his doing any act or making any omission. Now 4 outline judges, magistrates, liars, like the last state and 3. This for every person who commit an offense. But I mean, doing them friends not nothing. So them allowed to break the law and do what they want. But I'm sending me prison and all kind of thing because like the manager had tell him in the meeting, he's all about looking good. And by having me back, but making the rest of management look bad when he choose the payout from. But now to come down to the payout, none of them don't want it to come to that. Right now, my children can't go to school. Okay, this here is my child report card. And in this you will notice how he was performing from stage 1. After this incident, what happened since I was 5 where I was unable to provide for my family, like the same Stanley Reed went on the radio and in the newspaper saying, if you got a major problem at home, how you could function at work. The same thing with a child because his schoolwork is like a job for him when he going to school. His grades, you can see, keep dropping here. And the same principal for the school who went in there and also lied with the education officer around the corner. You can see here. She wrote, unfortunately, he didn't attend school because of the same problem them and the government people are causing. You can see all he getting is E's, D's and thing here. On his report card now, you'll find to the back of it got a list of different things. You'll notice here, a child that lives with truth learns justice. And now if the head ain't carrying out justice, this is why we got all this problem here today. And if you notice further down here, a child that lives with happiness will find love and beauty. And how he could be happy at home with all of this going on because they want to protect manager image which he himself caused in holding me accountable and got me and my family punishing for his actions. This newspaper, dated Friday 12th July 2013. The same Angel Wilson here. You will notice the same Angel Wilson getting another promotion again. The same Angel Wilson who concealing these evidence from the facts and evidence are here showing. So to look when you ain't functioning, you get promoted. And the same laws under the criminal code will state every person in Anguilla who commit an offense, you will see the reason why my life is threatened. When I was in prison, the second time I was given juice with something in it. Turned the juice a different color. When they bring it, I was monitored to see if any reaction take place. Then find nothing wrong. I was put back in prison now the third time from the 8th of April. Given poison inside of my food to get rid of me just because I stand up for my rights and don't want to sign a document. None of me. The same people in authority who should uphold the laws of the land, breaking the same laws, but expect the public to be in the better. I try all about, I can't get no attention to go, I can't get to see nobody. I went by the governor, I went by the chief minister. The chief minister told me that he has he can't do nothing about it. But you could see the reason why if you read the Constitution. The same permanent secretaries, them getting them orders from the governor. And like the radio host say, well, what is we got government for? Because them underneath of his ministry and he can't tell them do nothing. So, this is why I come here to do this, because wherever I go, I've been denied, I can't see no one, and like the last state, everybody should be dealt with fairly. Under 7 of the Constitution Act, tell me where nobody see here. But I getting all of this because them trying to protect the manager, his image, and them altering and changing the laws now to benefit them who broken it. So everybody will see why I come a target for the government system, because of all around what happening to me here. The same senior magistrate who joined with the junior magistrate, you notice the same senior magistrate who got all the evidence in terms of carrying this forward to get a settlement which they let us go into her, she herself concealing. So none of them doing what's right. This is why the same Evan Gomes went on the radio after with the dolphin problem, and he said that the deputy governor, Stanley Reed, and the governor is not following the Constitution of Anguilla. and the evidence there, pointing it out. I right now feeling sick, me and my kids them, and you can see what happened with my situation. I can't even buy a cough medicine. Not nothing like that to help with my situation. The same government was saying early childhood education is the same government we got mine out. Siding with a particular party, doing me the wrong, when everyone is accountable for their own actions and don't have to punish who causing it. The same two brothers, Lincoln Hodge and Steve Hodge, work for Anguilla, causing all of this, and the manager joined with them, doing me all of this. You notice all of them family, their children could go to school and them still out there with a big job. Like the manager, like I showed you in the first one, the manager promote him from supervisor, give him a big position. Instead of he was supposed to fire him, so Clinton Bryan lose his life for nothing. Make me unable to get through with mine, make me unable to support mine, and holding me accountable for all of them actions. So this is why I'm here today, so that the whole world could see why Anguilla in this situation what it in today. Because of the heads not following the constitution of Anguilla, them doing what they want, and like I show you here in this newspaper, where the letter what went to Arjul Wilson pointed out when she was first appointed as permanent secretary, concealing these evidence, here today with another promotion. So they like them just advertising, dressing up for the uniform them in, and the laws shove under the table.
No. Okay. Yeah, thanks, sir.
Is a mockery. The administrators would die in the fire. You don't know who to trust. The nobleman unjust. The barrister is a professional liar. And there is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. This is no hope for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. There is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. Facts doesn't really matter. Once your name is big, you will justice in high places. Yeah, the commissioner and the drug pusher could be the same fella with two different faces. Hey yo, and there is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. The system works for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. There is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. The practice of law and justice are two separate entities, so it's constant chaos and crisis with its two legal enemies. There is no truth in justice, no justice in the law. It's like you're fighting war, defenseless and poor in the jaws of the law. You're so insecure. No truth in justice, no justice in the law. Big shot cocaine men have no problem because the big shot friend could recommend them. No truth in justice, no justice in the law. Between you and I, they're telling a lie. The jacket and tie is just another guy. No truth in justice, no justice in the law. The system works for the rich, but it holds no hope for the poor. No truth in justice, no justice in the law. Hold on, hold on. So and so, shut your open mouth also. That's the language that police use when